In this video, we'll analyze how much it really costs to own an RV. Hopefully you're up for a bit of deeper analysis and will watch through the entire video, as the purpose here is to help those considering an RV to understand the real costs associated with this lifestyle and to motivate RV owners to use what they own. As you'll see, RV ownership isn't for everyone. Hey everybody, I'm John Marucci. I'm an avid traveler and teacher and love to explore. In 2016, I decided to travel by RV and have never looked back. I've had my share of problems along the way, and being a teacher by nature, I've tried to turn these problems into help for others. Whether you're new to RV travel or experienced, you're in the right place. So let's jump in. Some of you may know that I have a professional background in data and financial analytics, so this type of cost analysis is right up my alley. The timing of doing this is also good, as I've recently published a video on my 5-year ownership experience with my 2020 Keystone Bullet 243 BHS. We'll use the past 5 years of my RV ownership to analyze the expenses involved with owning an RV. This is a good proxy, as the Keystone Bullet is your average travel trailer in size. Whether this trailer has had more or less improvements and maintenance than the average 5-year-old trailer is not easy to determine, so we'll start with the assumption that the maintenance costs and carrying costs are about average. With this said, let's get into the basic equation we'll use to determine the cost of ownership. The equation is purchase cost, which includes initial price, fees, and taxes, plus maintenance costs, plus carrying costs, plus improvements, plus incremental travel expenses, minus residual or the resale value. A few assumptions need clarification. I will not discount cash flows or adjust for inflation for expenses or residuals. Also, the opportunity cost of my time making repairs and doing DIY maintenance is not included. Also, I did not finance my RV. If we added financing costs over the 5 years, interest amounts would need to be added. Finally, determining the resale amount or residual at the 5-year point is a best guess based on limited market data. With these assumptions out of the way, let's look at a simple example. Let's say you paid $30,000 for a new travel trailer 5 years ago, including all fees and taxes. You accumulated $3,000 in maintenance costs outside of warranty expenses and paid $200 per month in carrying costs, which include insurance and storage, and invested another $2,000 in improvements to your RV. After researching, you think your RV is now at year 5 worth $18,000. If you look at this, the total cost of ownership would be $29,000 or $5,800 per year, or $483 per month, or $290 per night at 20 nights average per year. Most of us intuitively feel better when we use what we've purchased, and here's why. In economics, the concept of enjoyment or usage is known as utility. As you use and enjoy what you've purchased, you're exacting more utility from the rental cost of the item. For the above example, if you use your RV 40 nights per year versus the 20-night national average, your per-night rental cost goes from $290 per night to $145. You're exacting more utility for the same rental cost. This is also why RVs are not selling nearly as well as a few years ago. The inputs to this basic financial equation have increased the rental costs. If purchase, maintenance, and carrying costs have increased, and depreciation expenses have also increased, thus lowering residuals, most people start to see that the utility versus rental cost or the value proposition worsens and sales dry up. Now that we set the stage with a simple example, let's look at my real-life input. This would differ if this were my first RV and I had to invest in items to get started like sewer hoses, chalk, surge protectors, etc. These entry costs are not included. My 2020 Keystone Bullet 243 BHS, which I purchased in May of 2019, cost $23,557 with discounts, fees, and taxes. I combed through 5 years of transaction data, and maintenance costs for the trailer totaled $3,407. This included routine maintenance like packing wheel bearings by my local dealer and many other items like replacing faulty components and worn out parts. It also included a recent set of new tires. I also tabulated carrying costs, including storage expenses and RV insurance. Since I stored my trailer at a public storage facility, this cost was substantial over 5 years at $3,974. Insurance for the trailer over the same period was $1,916, which was lower than expected. The fact that this was not an expensive trailer meant cost savings regarding insurance. Total carrying costs for the 5 years amounted to $5,890. Next, we need to add improvement costs to the trailer. I added things like a backup camera, a Wi-Fi, a better TV and soundbar, better foam in the dinette, a better shower head, a new mattress, a better bathroom fan, and other smaller items. These totaled $2,560 over the 5 years. We need to talk for a moment about incremental travel costs. The idea is that we should capture the difference in fuel expense from towing versus not towing. I'm including this even though I likely would not have made the same trips without a trailer. My 2017 Toyota Tundra gets about 17 miles per gallon on the highway, not towing, and averages about 9.6 miles per gallon while towing. For this calculation, we need to hold the gas price steady at the 5-year average of $3.39 per gallon. Ideally, I'd record actual fill-up data, but it's too time-consuming. I did happen to record all my mileage for every trip taken in the trailer over 5 years. So here it goes. I totaled 17,855 miles towing the Keystone Bullet in 5 years. The differential fuel cost would be 17,855 miles divided by 9.6 miles per gallon times $3.39 price per gallon. Then I'd subtract the 17,855 divided by 17 miles per gallon times the same average of $3.39 per gallon, which equals $6,305.05 towing minus $3,560.49 not towing, or $2,744.56 in incremental fuel expense. It could be argued that the entire $6,305 should be added since trips wouldn't have happened otherwise, but we'll proceed as stated. If we insert this incremental travel cost into our total cost of ownership equation, we end up with $38,159 in total cost before residual. Residual, or hypothetical resale value, isn't the easiest to figure out. For one thing, a simple J.D. Power's used RV value lookup doesn't consider the amount spent on improvements. How would I go about pricing my 5-year-old trailer? The best answer is to look at like units for sale on RVTrader.com. The problem is that there aren't many, and none at all with my improvements. So you have to price looking at similar units for sale and adding an amount for what you've invested in improvements. As of August 18th, 2024, there are 489 used Keystone Bullet travel trailers for sale on RVTrader.com and only 193 from model years 2019 to 2021. If we choose only model year 2020, there are only 48 units, including all trim levels. How many 243 BHS units are for sale? Just 2, and both are being sold by dealers. One is just under $23,000 and one is just below $30,000. The cheaper one is a later 2020 model with improvements. My gut is that the later year unit is priced a bit high at $23,000, and the second unit at $30,000 is unrealistically high. With inflation, since I purchased my unit and the current selling price of these similar units, my base price would be about $20,000. This is right at the low retail value on J.D. Powers. If I add in the many improvements, stellar, provable maintenance record, and outstanding condition of the trailer, I'd likely add $2,500 to the price and go out at about $22,500. So when we subtract the estimated residual, our total cost of ownership equals $15,659, or $3,132 per year, or $261 per month. This is where things get interesting. If I use the trailer as most people do for 20 nights per year, my rental cost would be $15,659 divided by 100 nights, or $157 per night. However, I used my trailer extensively in 5 years with 665 nights of use. So the calculation is $15,659 divided by 665 nights, or just $23.55 per night. My use case is extreme, but it proves that the rental costs become minimal if you plan to use a trailer extensively. Another big caveat is that this is only your rental cost for having and using the RV and doesn't include site rentals. RVs can be much less expensive than staying in hotels if you use your RV extensively. If I can pay on average with taxes $125 per night on a hotel, and my RV rental cost is only $23.55 per night, then I can pay as much as $101 per night for a campsite and break even. This is why when someone comments that they are giving up RVing and are going back to staying in hotels, my first question is, how much are you using your RV? There is real value in having a mobile apartment with you. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned that the entire purpose of this deep dive analysis was to help those considering RVing understand the total cost and to help motivate those of us who own RVs to use them. My sober advice is that if you own an RV and have no plans to use it, sell it. If you plan to use it, then really use it extensively. If you don't plan to use an RV much, save the effort and money and rent one when you want to do an occasional weekend or week-long trip. There are other considerations that I did not cover, like accelerated tow vehicle maintenance, the possibility of having to purchase a tow vehicle to enter the lifestyle, food cost differentials versus hotel stays, and likely the most significant other issue, the go, no-go decision. By this, I mean many of us have personal situations where it is either travel by RV or no travel at all. Since RVing provides us with personal accommodations, can better facilitate medical, mobility, and pet issues, and affords better food preparation and recreational opportunities, it isn't just about the rental costs. We should consider quality of life issues with our limited time remaining, and it is impossible to quantify this factor. I sincerely hope this video has provided an in-depth look at the cost of owning an RV. It was well worth the effort if I've helped you think through what this means or even dissuaded or delayed you from purchasing. You should know and count the cost before plunging in. Moreover, I hope I've motivated current RV owners to act, to use and enjoy what a home away from home on wheels can provide. Okay, that'll do it for now. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button, share it with friends on social media, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. This is John Marucci, and so long for now.